I want to come up here and talk about Nxt Vengeance Day results. So, first person hop on, man. I'll go ahead and get right to it. Get some people up in here. You know what I'm saying? Well, for some people to hop up here, and I'll go ahead and start. Hey, what's up? If you're new to my channel, are you subscribed to my channel? I see somebody hit the like button. I got 5 people in the building. Are y'all subscribed to my channel? Are y'all wrestling fans? I want to know before I start the topic. Okay, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna talk about the results of NXT Vengeance Day. Well, for starters, I thought it was a great show. Yes, I thought NXT Vengeance Day delivered. You can agree to disagree with me. I thought it was a great show. I thought every match on the card was pretty decent. Well, to me, the best 2 matches on the card in my book, in my opinion, was Blake Monroe versus Jada Parker and Lola Vice versus Kehlani Jordan. Um, Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame, that one delivered too. That was a pretty good one too. But in my book, the best 2 was Blake Monroe winning against Jada Parker and Lola Vice winning against Kehlani Jordan. Although Blake Monroe, Lola Vice, and Kehlani Jordan are 3 of my favorites, but I do like Blake Monroe better than both of them. Blake Monroe is my top favorite NXT female wrestler. I don't go against her for nobody. So, yeah. But I love Tatum Paxley and Easy Dane too, just to be fair. But I like Blake Monroe better than all of them. So let's talk about the first match on the card. Blake Monroe versus Jada Parker. Damn solid contest. It was a it was a solid contest. Great match. They delivered. They delivered. But in all honesty, I'm pretty sure a lot would disagree with my take, but in my book, the right person won. The right person won that match, but I gotta say, Jada Parker did her thing. She did her thizzle. Sorry. Jada Parker did her thing, though. She did her thing, but I wanted Blake Monroe to win. Blake Monroe was my pick who I want to win. And in my book, the right person went over. The right person won that match. But definitely giving some credit to Jada Parker. Because I do like Jada Parker too. Jada Parker is one of my favorites, but I like her. She's natural with everything she does. Her promos are natural. Her ring ability is natural. She's good. Jada Parker is a star. So I'm giving Jada Parker some credit. Like she rightfully deserves. But I wanted Blake Monroe to win. Blake Monroe is my pick. And like I said, Blake Monroe is my top favorite NXT female wrestler. Once again, don't go against her for nobody. But it was a great match. Great back and forth match. They did their thing. But the best ending of the match, when Blake Monroe pulled out the bag and poured all those diamonds in the middle of the ring. Diamonds. I said, okay, that's okay. Man, Jada Parker, she ran towards Jada Parker. Thanks, bro. Thanks. She ran towards Jada Parker. Jada Parker kicked in the face and got on the top rope. Yeah, and Blake Monroe definitely capitalized through the diamonds in Jada Parker's face. Went for the Trish Stratus Hurricane. She went for the same Hurricane that Trish Stratus did. I know she definitely, you know what I'm saying, did that to attribute the Trish Stratus, the Hurricane Rana she did on Jada Parker off the top rope. Jada Parker sold it pretty well. Then Blake Monroe capitalized and hit her with a finisher. Yeah, see you later, man. See you later. So Blake Monroe hit Jada Parker with the DDT on the diamonds. Her finisher on the diamonds. Perfect finish, and Blake Monroe won the match. Blake Monroe won. But it was a back and forth contest. Jada Parker, the best, her best part of the match is when she did she did she, you know what I'm saying, put Blake Monroe on the table, and she jumped off the apron and slammed her rear end into Blake Monroe's, you know what I'm saying, sternum through the table. That was quite impressive right there by Jada Parker. So both females did a thing. They both did a thing in that match. But like I said, the right person won. Blake Monroe won, which she was my pick, but the right person won. The right person won in my book. So I'd rate that match a 8 out of 10. I rate that match. That was a solid match. That was a solid contest. All right, next match. Taylor Paxley versus Izzy Dane. Another solid contest. Yeah, Blake Monroe versus Jada Parker. I definitely give that match 5 stars. Jada Parker versus Blake Monroe versus Jada Parker was definitely a 5-star match. That was a solid contest. So okay, moving on. Izzy Dane, Taylor Paxley versus Izzy Dane. I like these two as well. I love these two as well. But I knew Taylor Paxley was going to win the title back, as she should have, as she should. But the match was a great back and forth contest, great back and forth match. But Taylor Paxley was determined she won't lose this match, and I don't blame her, because she had to get her get back against Izzy Dane. You know, we all know since Gigi Dolan and Shotzi Blackheart are no longer with Taylor Paxley in NXT anymore. They both went their separate ways. Well, Gigi Dolan and Shotzi Blackheart are still wrestling in another company together. They came off a match against each other, and that was a damn solid contest. So Taylor Paxley no longer have any friends in NXT. Well, Live Valkyrie came there to, be friends with her, came there to hang with her for a little while, but Live Valkyria is no longer part of NXT, so she can't be with Tatum Paxley all the time. So Tatum Paxley, she's a loner. But Tatum Paxley got to learn to be alone. She got to learn to be alone. You got to learn to accept, you can't be friends with everybody in professional wrestling. That's not the way. That's not the way of the game. You have to learn to be alone. I know don't nobody want to be alone all the time. That does suck. But if you feel like you can't make no friends with nobody, that can be for a reason. Don't nobody want to be alone all the time, but sometimes it's just meant to be alone. Until the right person come along, and you be friends with them. But to the most part, man, Tatum Paxley is is once again the North American Women's Champion. So I'm happy for Tatum Paxley. She got it done. Hey, what's up, April? What's up? So I'm happy for Tatum Paxley. I'm happy. So she got it done against Easy Day tonight in a hard fought match. That was a great back and forth contest. Great back and forth match. We all know that Easy Dame is a powerhouse, so she used her power game against Tatum Paxley. And Tatum Paxley is one hell of a striker. She has great striking ability. Man, the kick she hit Easy Dame with was quite impressive. The kick she hit Easy Dame with was quite impressive. She hit her with some great striking kicks. One striking kick she hit her with, she followed it up with a German suplex. That was quite impressive. That was pretty good. So Tatum Paxley can wrestle. She's very good. She's very lethal with her feet. Very lethal with her feet. She has great striking. She has great striking ability. So I like Tatum Paxley, man. I fuck with Tatum Paxley. I fuck with Izzy Dame too. I like them both, but my pick was Tatum Paxley. She deserved it. She had to get her get back at Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame did her dirty, so Izzy Dame had this coming. She had this coming. The story had to end with Tatum Paxley winning the NXT Women's North American title back. And let's not forget, her first NXT North American Women's title run was a complete flop. It was a flop. You know what I'm saying? And some say they booked Easy Dane to win the NXT Women's North American title too early. I agree, they did. I can say the same thing about Thea Hill, but it was actually a mistake. Thea Hill wasn't supposed to have won the NXT Women's North American title right away. And this is not me taking anything away from Thea Hill. Thea Hill is one of my favorite NXT female wrestlers. But she ended up winning the title early due to the botch in the match, the mistake she made. So Thea Hill could be winning the Speed Women's title. If she does, that'd be a great start for Thea Hill. That would be a better solution for her, the Speed title. I know a lot of people say that she can't tend to crap on the Speed title, but it's not a bad title. And I'm not saying that because Fallon Henley is not the holder of that title. And also, Fallon Henley is another one of my favorite NXT female wrestlers. But I'm not going to say the title is not a bad title because Fallon Henley is holding. There's nothing wrong with that title at all. There's nothing wrong with it. But I can see Thea Hill winning that title. And that would be a great start for her. Then later on down the line, some months down the line, you can give her another run as the NXT Women's North American title. But I want Lola Vice to win it first. And we definitely going to get into Lola Vice versus Keilani Jordan next. But anyway, so yeah, Tatum Paxley got it done. She got it done. She got the job done. She dethroned Easy Dane for the NXT Women's North American title. They. What are you talking about, Rick Gary? But uh yeah, I'm talking about it right now. As you can see, I'm talking about the results of NXT Deadline. Yeah, I watch NXT. I gotta ask, are you a male or a female? I gotta ask, man, cause you commented a heart. I asked that because oh well I saw one of my pics, man. You commented heart eye emoji. I'm not into dudes, man. I just thought I'd let you know that. I'm not into dudes. I saw you comment on my pic. I'm not into dudes, bro. I'm not here to judge you, but I'm not into men. I mean, if you gay, you gay, but I'm not into dudes, bro. Ain't got a problem with gay people, bisexual people, but I'm not into dudes. I saw what you put on my pic. You comment on one of my pics. I'm not. I don't swing that way. But anyway, so back to my topic. No, I posted a pic of myself, and I posted a pic of myself, and you put a heart eye emoji up there of me. So I just thought I'd let you know, man. I mean, if I'm not into dudes, I don't swing that way. It was a picture I posted of myself, not the female wrestler. I posted a picture of myself, and you put a heart eye emoji. I don't know if you meant that or not, but I'm here to tell you, I'm not into dudes. I don't swing that way. Okay, all right, cool. I just thought I'd let you know, man. I don't, Let me go ahead and get back on topic. So back to Tatum Paxley versus Easy Dame. This was a solid contest. This was a solid match. This was a solid match for sure. They both delivered. They both delivered. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely, so I'm happy Tatum Paxley won the NXT Women's title back. So now Tatum Paxley, she goes on and she moves on. And I hope they book Tatum Paxley. They don't book her title run to be short. Don't fuck her up again for another short title run. They do that, I'm gonna be mad. So yeah. So Tatum Paxley, hope they start her off with a great run as the NXT Women's North American Champion. So putting that aside, I want to talk about Lola Vice versus Keelani Jordan in the Gauntlet match. Lola Vice was my pick to win, although Lola Vice and Keelani Jordan are two of my favorite NXT female wrestlers. But I do like Lola Vice better, so Lola Vice was my pick who I was going for to win, which is I knew she was going to win regardless. You know what I'm saying? As she should. The right person won. The right person won for sure. So Lola Vice got it done. But I'm here to give Keelani Jordan her props. Keelani Jordan did an outstanding job in that match. She was very sharp against Lola Vice. She did her thing. She did the damn thing in that match. Keelani Jordan delivered. That was a great back and forth match between her and Lola Vice. They both did the damn thing. That was a great match. That was a great match. Five star match for sure. 5 stars. I'll give that one 5 stars, man. That was a pretty good matchup. That match actually got out of hand because you think WWE still chair shots to the head. Hell yeah, they hurt. I can't even believe you asked me that. Yeah, it hurt. You let somebody hit you in the head with a damn steel chair and see if you get back up from it. Especially if they hit you hard. A chill steel chicken that could really bust your head open, bro. They hit you hard enough with a steel chair that would split your shit. It would split your shit. Undertaker talked about how I think he was hit. I think no he was talking about when he went for the last ride and Triple H accidentally hit him in the head with a sledgehammer and he busted him open. Undertaker was leaking bad. I remember that. Nah, these are steel chairs. I'm pretty sure yeah it'll hurt. But so yeah back to Lola Vice versus Kehlani Jordan. Phenomenal match. Phenomenal match. Kehlani Jordan did her thing. She did her thing. Shayna Baszler taught her will, but the right person won. The right person came out on top like they should have. Because if Lola Vice would have lost this match to Kehlani Jordan, Lola Vice would have got buried tonight. She would have got buried. And I would have been upset. Although, you know what I'm saying, Kehlani Jordan is one of my favorites. Lola Vice and Kehlani Jordan are two of my favorites. But I like Kehlani Jordan. I like Lola Vice and Kehlani Jordan too. Lola Vice and Kehlani Jordan are two of my favorites. But I do like Lola Vice better. But if Lola Vice would have would have lost this match, I would have been upset. Because she needed to win this match. She needed that win. She needed that win, you know what I'm saying, in this match. She needed it. She definitely needed that win. Would have made sense for her to lose. But like I said, the match was a great 5 star match. This match was solid. Saw at the ring, Lola Vice temper got the best of her. You know what I'm saying? She kicked two of the dudes. They got in the way, and she definitely kicked both of them out of her way. Definitely kicked both of them out of her way. Then Lola Vice, Kehlani Jordan, tried to get back into the match. And when they got back in that ring, Lola Vice knocked her out. She laid her out. But Kehlani Jordan was very impressive in this match. They both was very impressive, but Kehlani Jordan, Kehlani Jordan did her thing. Like how when Kehlani Jordan did turn when I like when Kehlani Jordan turned Lola Vice over on her stomach and she put her arm, you know what I'm saying, around her back and she did a moonsault on her injured hand. That was pretty impressive. That was quite impressive right there. And I like how when Lola Vice kicked Kehlani Jordan out of the ring. Lola Vice very lethal with her feet. Very lethal. This was a solid contest right here, man. And we all know that Lola Vice and Kehlani Jordan has great chemistry. So now that Lola Vice has won against Kehlani Jordan, so what do I think is next for Lola Vice? Lola Vice needs to eventually go after the NXT Women's North American title again because you know what? The agenda is not over. I'm still pushing the agenda of Lola Vice capturing either the NXT Women's North American title or the NXT Women's title. But ho, scratch the NXT Women's title, cause that's the title I want Blake Monroe to capture. Just have Lola Vice to capture the NXT Women's North American title, and Blake Monroe captures the NXT Women's title. So I want Lola two belts. I want the belt she got now, and I want her to add the NXT Women's North American, you know what I'm saying, title with her other title. Steel chairs. Hold on. WWE steel chairs, just foldable metal chairs. They're not actually made of steel, but a liar, that doesn't mean they're designed, but they do sting. Yeah, yeah, man, they'll hurt you. They're selling WWE steel chairs online, but obviously it's not going to be the exact same as the one in WWE. Yeah. But don't take them steel chairs lightly, man. I'm here to tell you right now. Do not take them steel chairs lightly. That would be a mistake. Somebody with some power hit you with a steel chair. You gonna feel it. Like you said, yeah, it's definitely gonna sting you, buddy. I said it might cut you open. Telling you, they hit you hard enough, they'll knock you out. Yeah, they sting, especially when you get hit in the back with it. Especially you get hit in the back with a steel chair and you ain't wearing no shirt and you get hit in the back with that steel chair, that man, that's gonna sting like a son of a bitch. Man. But so yeah, man, Lola Vice got it done. So now what's next for Lola Vice? What I want to be next for Lola Vice is her eventually capturing the NXT Women's North American title. And what could I say could be next for Keilani Jordan? They could go ahead and take her up to the main roster if they want to. I mean, Keilani Jordan is a two-time NXT Women's Champion. She don't have to stay in NXT. She can go ahead and get called up to the main roster. That might be what they do. But at the same time, I'm scared for Keilani Jordan on the main roster because are they going to book her the same how she was in NXT? Part of me second that. But that was a solid match between Lola Vice and Keilani Jordan. That was a great match. Yeah. At the end, Lola Vice laid her out again. She laid her out. So this feud should be over between Lola Vice and Keilani Jordan. Also said they would be a great tag team too. And they named their tag team name Lola and Lonnie. But I doubt they're gonna put them together as a tag team. Now this feud should be over. It should be over. Now Lola Vice can move on. Move on and eventually capture the NXT Women's North American title. And that title right with the title she got now. Although that title is a start, some disagreed and said that title don't really mean anything. It's not enough. I know it's not enough, but in my book it's a start. But I still want her to capture the NXT Women's North American title. So the agenda is not over. The agenda is not over. So yeah. So putting that aside, we got Dion Lennox versus um damn, I just like to say this name. I just like Tony D'Angelo. Dion Lennox versus Tony D'Angelo. This was a solid contest, another street fight. These two were all over the place. They were fighting hard before the damn bell rung. They were fighting hard before the bell rung, so these two, they beat the hell out of each other. They destroyed each other. But at the end, Tony D'Angelo came out on top. He won the match. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown versus Raw 2004, SmackDown versus Raw 2006 was the best. Oh yeah, man. SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, and SmackDown versus Raw 2004 are my top three favorite WWE games on PS2. Those are my top three favorite wrestling games on PS2. Yeah, man, I got to get me another PS2. One of them I had wore out on. I got to get me another PS2 because I got SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. I got SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, and I got SmackDown versus Raw 2004. All I got to do is get me another PlayStation 2. Because like I said, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, and SmackDown versus Raw 2004 are my top three favorite wrestling games on PS2. I always play with Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero on SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, and I always play with Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio on SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. And I always play with, I play with The Undertaker and Kane too. They're my favorites up there too, but I play with Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero the most. And on SmackDown vs. Raw 2004, I always play with Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio, including The Undertaker and Kane, but I play with Bret Hart the most up there. Bret Hart, my number one dirtiest top 5 wrestler. I don't go against him for nobody. So I play with Bret Hart the most on SmackDown vs. Raw 2004. But I play with Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero just as much, including Rey Mysterio. I love playing the storyline on SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, man. I love playing that storyline up there. I love it. I always play the storyline with Chris Benoit. I'm going to play with Eddie Guerrero this time and build up his attributes. I don't like the attributes on SmackDown 2000 on SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. The attributes on SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, some of them I didn't agree with. Eddie Guerrero overall on SmackDown Here Comes the Pain should have been at least 80 or 81 up there. Eddie Guerrero overall on SmackDown Here Comes the Pain should have been at least 80 or 81 at the max. His overall shouldn't have been no 74. Tell me something I didn't know. Triple H told a fan to shut up after he heard a Chris Benoit chant. It's not funny. Yeah, Goldberg got a devastating spear. Man, Goldberg got a ferocious spear. But so yeah, man, let's go ahead and move forward. Dion Lennox versus Tony D'Angelo was a great match. They were all over the place, man. Those two was all over the place. Yeah. I mean, of course, yeah. Your Goldberg spear won't no joke. We could eat a drink after taking a spear. Especially a spear by Goldberg, no. Average person gets speared by Goldberg, he gonna probably put him in a damn hospital. He probably gonna put him in a hospital. Probably break their damn rib cage. Yeah, I mean when Goldberg tried to spear Bret Hart and Bret Hart outsmarted him. Bret Hart smarted him. Yeah, well he didn't destroy Bret Hart ribs because Bret Hart outsmarted him. Yeah, he outsmarted Goldberg. Goldberg tried to spear Bret Hart and Bret Hart had a steel pad under his stomach, and Goldberg didn't know it. Yeah, he had a metal shield on his stomach. He outsmarted Goldberg, which was smart. Never forget that. One of my favorite Bret Hart moments when he tried to spear Bret Hart and Bret Hart had a damn that metal shield on. I like that. Yep. What you call outsmarting somebody. Yeah. But yeah, man. Pissed me off Goldberg in the Bret Hart career though. Yep. Yeah, Vince fucked them over, man. Vince fucked them over in the worst way. But Bret Hart didn't get booked no better than WCW neither, man. Bret Hart didn't get booked no better than WCW. They dropped the ball with him in WCW. Booked him to be a heel and got him cheating to win matches and shit like that against Booker T. And don't get me wrong, Booker T is a great in-ring competitor. I like Booker T. My favorite version of Booker T is the Harlem Heat Booker T. But I like Bret Hart better. Like I said, I don't go against Bret Hart for nobody, but if I'm being honest, Bret Hart should have beaten Booker T clean. Don't get me wrong, Bret Hart has beaten Booker T before, but he beat him in a dirty fashion. Even if you cheat to win, a win is a win, but Bret Hart should have beat Booker T clean. Now, if they want to, you know what I'm saying, run it back and Booker T beat Bret Hart clean, okay, cool. And not to say they didn't have great matches, they did, but you know what I'm saying, I don't like the way they booked Bret Hart. They didn't know how to book him. You think Goldberg can? What kind of question was that? Yeah, Goldberg in his prime, yeah, he would have broke the Master Lock. Yeah, I can't believe you asked me that. Chris Masters won't no stronger than Goldberg, man. It broke Goldberg broke Brian Adams for a Nelson Slam. Goldberg broke Brian Adams for a Nelson Slam. Brian Adams and Brian Clark, the Chronic, he broke Brian um full Nelson Slam. So of course he would have broke Chris Masters' Master Lock. Bobby Lashley broke it before. Kane could break it. Undertaker could possibly break it. I think he could break it. John Cena broke it before. I know damn well Mark Henry can break it. I don't even think Chris Masters could even lock it on the Big Show. But who could definitely break it, is Goldberg. Yeah. Think he tried to put it on Great Khali too. He tried to put it on Great Khali and he couldn't do it. Yeah, yeah, break Great Khali will break it. He couldn't even put it on Great Khali. Ron Simmons in his prime would have broke it. But yeah, hell yeah, Batista could break it. But let's get back on topic, man. Let's talk about the NXT Dead Vengeance Day. So um Deion Lennox versus Tony D'Angelo was a great hardcore match. It was a great no holds barred match. These two delivered. I like how um Deion Lennox was out there in the crowd, was out there in the parking lot waiting for Tony D'Angelo. And Tony D'Angelo came out of nowhere and him and you know what I'm saying, Deion Lennox went at it. They went at it. That was a great match. And then when they finally got into the ring and wrestled, they beat the hell out of each other. But at the end, Tony D'Angelo came out on top. He came out on top. He won. So, yeah. So putting that aside, JC Jane, Fatal Influence came out tonight. Fatal Influence showed up at Vengeance Day. So JC Jane out there talking her talk, being cocky, being arrogant, talking about how long she had to retain the title, whatnot, and she's had help most of the time from Fallon Henley and Langley Reed. We all know that. So now it's official. So then Zarya came out there, rudely interrupted JC Jane and demanded another title shot against her. So that's when, not too long after that, Saruka came out there. She came out there and she put Zarya and JC Jane both on notice that she's coming for the strap. She's coming for the NXT Women's title. She let that be known right up front. So now we got Zoe. Now we got Zarya versus JC Jane versus Saruka for the NXT Women's title. One of them are going to win that title. Bobby Lashley. Yeah, yeah. Bobby Lashley's strong as hell, man. Yeah. Could Hogan break it? Yeah, hell yeah, Hogan could break it. Yeah, hell, Hogan would have broke that shit. You think The Rock can break the Master Lock? I don't know. I don't know. The Rock, the Rock won't really no powerhouse. Well, The Rock, no, The Rock was a powerhouse. The Rock was more in between. He was more in between. I mean, he did slam Mark Henry before, but his ability was more like in between. Nah, man, nah. Triple H can't break the Master Lock. Nah. Let's get back. I'm gonna talk about Vengeance, man. Um, I mean, we can kill time and talk about old school wrestling matches too to make the video go longer. So I appreciate that. But all right, Tony D'Angelo won. So JC Jane came out there bragging how long she's been champion, this and that and the third. So that's when Zari Ruley interrupted her. So Zari went out there talking her talk. So not too long after that, Saruka came out there to put Zari and JC Jane on notice for the NXT Women's title. So now this is official a triple threat match. So they all three went at it. And Saruka tried to go for the soul snatcher on JC Jane. And JC Jane moved out the way and she hit Zarya with the soul snatcher. So it don't matter whether she did it on purpose or not, because Zarya and Saruka and Zarya are no longer friends. Zarya and Saruka are no longer friends. Now, who do I want to win the women's triple threat match between Zarya, JC Jane, and Saruka? I'm going for Zarya. I'm going for Zarya. I like Zarya. I like Zarya. I like JC Jane too, but I like Zarya better. You think Chris Masters? No, no, man. I never cared for Chris Masters. I never cared for Chris Masters. He was cringe to me, if I'm being honest. He was cringe. No, I never cared for Chris Masters. Him and that Master Lock challenge, it was lame. It was cringe. It wasn't all that cringe, but I just didn't really buy into it. Yeah, when he tried to put that Master Lock on Bobby Lashley broke it with no problem. Brock Lesnar would have broke the Master Lock because he was born. He was born. I mean, if you a fan of him, to each his own. I never cared for Chris Masters. He was born to me. That's just my opinion. That's just me. That's just how I feel. Well, to each his own. To each his own. And he was around during the ruthless aggression era. That's when Chris Masters debuted in 2005 on Monday Night Raw. Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Yeah, yeah. Of course, Mark Henry could break the master lock. He would have broke it with no problem. But Chris Masters was a powerhouse wrestler. I give him that. He was a powerhouse wrestler. But so all right, man. Let's get to the main event of Vengeance. The main event of Vengeance. Joe Hendry versus Ricky Saints for the NXT title. I knew Joe Hendry was going to retain. He wasn't about to lose it. He's the fresh champion. He wasn't about to lose that title that quick. Despite I thought the female wrestlers get booked losing their titles fast, I just didn't see them having Joe Hendry to lose the NXT title that fast. Yes, I went to a WWE live event in '99. That's the last WWE live event I went to. I was 11 years old then. I went to King of the Ring. I went to King of the Ring live when it was Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon and his son in the ladder match. Yeah, I went there live. I was there live. Man, yeah. I'm an old school guy. Yeah, I'm an old school guy, man. All of my favorite male wrestlers are legends. I don't got no new current favorite male wrestlers. I got some new current male wrestlers that I like, but they just don't do it for me as being my favorites. I prefer the legends as my favorite male wrestlers. Oh yeah, Vince McMahon was big. Vince McMahon was big. He's still big now. Yeah, man. Vince McMahon had a tremendous physique on him. Yeah, Vince would be as hell. But Vince McMahon is still in great shape, though. I don't care for Vince McMahon at all because he's a terrible human being, but he is in great shape. Nah, Vince couldn't break Chris Masters' master lock. Nah. Yeah, that Chris Masters, yeah. At least back then, man, I mean, Chris Master did a master lock challenge or whatever, whatnot. I mean, it don't compare to today's wrestling. Chris Masters doing that master lock challenge, it was actually tolerated. It was tolerated. Yeah. Now Bobby Lashley does that same move that Chris Master used to do, but Bobby Lashley perfected that hurt lock better. Bobby Lashley definitely perfected that hurt lock better than Chris Masters' master lock. I know. I just said the hurt lock. Chris Master came up with the master lock and he tried that shit on Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley, you know what I'm saying, broke it. Then Bobby Lashley came up with, you know what I'm saying, that same move, but he called it the, you know what I'm saying, hurt lock. And can't nobody break that. Even Brock Lesnar couldn't break it. Brock intentionally got himself disqualified because he knew he couldn't break that move. He intentionally got himself disqualified because he couldn't break that hurt lock. He couldn't break his hurt lock. Drew McIntyre couldn't break it. Drew McIntyre couldn't break Bobby Lashley's hurt lock. He put Drew McIntyre to sleep. Can Goldberg break the Hurt Lock? I don't know. I don't know about Goldberg breaking it either. I mean, no, he couldn't because Goldberg is not stronger than Brock Lesnar. Now, back in Goldberg younger days, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar's strength was equally matched. But when Goldberg got older, Brock Lesnar was stronger than Goldberg. So no, Goldberg couldn't break Bobby Lashley's Hurt Lock. But he definitely wouldn't tap out. He wouldn't have tapped out. Yeah, but I don't know if Goldberg could break Bobby Lashley's Hurt Lock. Maybe he could. I don't know. Because like I said, Goldberg, he's not stronger than Bobby Lashley. Now, could Bobby Lashley break his Hurt Lock? No. Now, maybe back in Goldberg younger days, he possibly could break Bobby Lashley's Hurt Lock. But you got to think about it. He's not stronger than Brock Lesnar. Back in Goldberg younger days, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar power, their strength was equally matched. There has to be one guy that can break the Hurt Lock. I don't know who. I don't know who that may be. Braun Strowman probably could break it. Braun Strowman could probably break it. Because Braun Strowman is stronger than Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Goldberg, too. Braun Strowman is one of the strongest wrestlers of all time. Maybe, no, so yeah. So, so yeah, Joe Hendry versus Ricky Saints was a solid match. But I knew Hendry was going to retain. I knew he was going to retain. And Ethan Page, I know he did that to Ricky Saints on purpose. He definitely did that to Ricky Saints on purpose. And Joe Hendry won the match. He retained his title like I knew he was. I knew they weren't going to book him to lose the title that fast. So yeah, I knew the master lock is easy to apply on anyone. I ain't gonna lie, man. If I get angry enough, man, somebody make me mad, I love to put the hurt lock on them. I love to put the hurt lock on them. Put that lock on them where they can't break it. They get me angry, man. But I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite. I'm gonna tell you my top favorite submission move of all time, the sharpshooter. That's my top favorite submission move. The crippler crossface is one of my favorite submission moves too. I love that crossface too. Somebody get me mad, man. I put him in the damn crossface. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton gonna get it done against Cody and win the title. What body does the crippler crossface hurt? They head and neck. And they shoulder too. They head, neck, and shoulder. The crossface is a painful move, man. A bunch of ripping and tearing. That man, I would love to put that move on somebody. But yeah, they piss you off. They talking shit. Walk up on their ass. Come out of nowhere with that damn master lock on them. I put the hurt lock on them. It does. It hurts your neck and shoulder. It applies pressure on your neck and shoulder. Yeah. Your arm too. Your arm too. It adds pressure. Crippling crossface, like I said, it's a painful move. Very painful. It's one of my favorite submission moves too. The sharpshooter and the crippling crossface are my two favorite nonsense submission moves. But I like the sharpshooter better. So yeah, it hurts your legs a little bit too, but yeah, it's more pressure on your back though. But so yeah, Joe Hendry retained against Ricky Saints tonight. So what I think gonna happen is the next pay per view, Ricky Saints may win the NXT title. That's what I think gonna happen. The next pay per view, Ricky Saints gonna win the NXT title. I put a little pressure on your legs, but it's more pressure on your back for sure. Yeah, he was. He was. Definitely was the first person to break the sharpshooter, but in that match, his legs gave out on him. His legs gave out on him in that match. I just said that yeah, the crippler crossface hurts your neck and shoulder. It does pressure to your arm as well. Your head, the crippler crossface is more pressure on your neck and shoulder, but it does a little damage to your arm too. It does damage to your arm too. Yeah, but Bret Hart did some serious damage on his legs. You know how the hell he was able to wrestle in that match, and Bret Hart did all that damage on his legs. Just like that time when Bret Hart wrestled Diesel in the steel cage match in your house. I don't know how the hell Diesel managed to climb out the damn cage away from the Undertaker due to how much damage Bret Hart did on his legs in that match. Yeah. But so yeah, man, being that Joe Hendry won retained his NXT title, I think the next pay per view Ricky Saints gonna win the title. Cause he's a heel now, so he's definitely gonna become the NXT champion again as a heel. And he's in that mode, he's gonna win that NXT title by any means necessary. Breaking the Hurt Lock in 2K, that's another one of my ways to break it. Yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do another video, man, talking about old school wrestling. You know, so I'm gonna talk about feuds that should have happened back in the day. Turn on my notifications, man, so you won't miss my video. Cause maybe sometime this week I'm gonna do a video talking about feuds that should have happened back in the day in WWE during the '90s. You know what I'm saying, in the early 2000s. I'm even talking about feuds that should have happened in WCW. You know what I'm saying, during the '90s and early 2000s. Okay, all right, that's what's up. Yeah, the master lock. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure on your shoulders, but it kind of hurts your neck a little bit too. But it has definitely a lot more pressure on your shoulders. It's a painful maneuver, and being that Chris Masters was a powerhouse, it was definitely difficult to break. Even Ron Simmons couldn't break it. But let that would have been Ron Simmons back when he was in his prime in WCW, because Ron Simmons in WCW, he could bench over 500 pounds. And we was in football, when Ron Simmons played for Florida State in football, when Ron Simmons played football, he played for Florida State. And he could bench 600 pounds then when he was a football player. When he started wrestling, he could bench over 500. So let that would have been Ron Simmons in his prime, and Chris Masters challenged him to the Master Lock Challenge. Ron Simmons would have broke Chris Masters' Master Lock. He definitely would have broke it. The Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal would have broke Chris Masters' Master Lock. But NXT Vengeance tonight, NXT Vengeance, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. It was a pretty good show. Hell yeah, Ultimate Warrior could break Chris Masters' Master Lock. Yeah, hell yeah. Undertaker in his prime would have broke it too. Don't even mention Andre the Giant. We know we couldn't even lock it on Andre. But so yeah, I think Vader would have possibly broke it. But yeah, man. So NXT Vengeance Day, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great show tonight. All the matches were solid. So nice talking to you, man. I'm going to get up out of here. Thanks everybody for watching my live stream tonight. Y'all could be anywhere else, but y'all chose to be here, and listen to me talk about the results of NXT Deadline. Yeah, Diesel could break it. So I'm going to get up out of here, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in to my live stream tonight. It's your boy Hitman D, and I'm going to sign out.